Farmer lives matter. The importance of America's farm families in our society. There is great necessity to have farm and ranch families in our society for both economic and social reasons, some of which you may not be aware of. Hello, my name is Rayde Nipp, and I'm here to present to you a little speech about what America's farmers bring to the table and how they affect your lives. Because sometimes I don't know that they're maybe as appreciated as maybe they should be. Have you ever met a farmer and actually understood what their job entails and all the ways that they affect your life? Maybe just sat down and chatted with one about what they do and maybe the things in your own life, your day-to-day life, that maybe came from the fact that a farmer does his job every day. There are many ways that farmers contribute to American living. It is important to appreciate them for the hard work, sacrifices, and contributions that they make. I have lived a rural lifestyle my entire life, living in a small town in eastern Nebraska where everyone I know has farming in their heritage, including my own. No, I did not come from a farm family. My parents were not farmers. My uncle and aunt are farmers. My grandma and grandpa were farmers. They now live in town and have sold off the home place, as it is called. But I have been around this farming community and the agriculture lifestyle my entire life, and now I rent a house on a farm. They contribute their produce for consumption, their existence strengthens the economy, and their morals and work ethic improve society. First, their obvious importance is the way that they feed America. The American farmer keeps people fed with their crop and livestock contributions. The farmers that grow corn and beans help feed America. The average American consumes more than 1,500 pounds of corn. That's annually, which amounts to approximately 4 pounds per day per American citizen. This is not obviously all in the natural state of corn kernels, like you think of it. High fructose corn syrup can become a main sweetener in most processed foods and soft drinks. This contributes to about 42 pounds of sweeteners consumed annually. This was by Nathan F. in 2016. Farmers also produce beef, pork, chicken, which are all consumed by Americans. Approximately 60% of all the corn crop that is grown is used to make premium feed for these animals, which are then produced for food. People consume these animals every day. Now granted, some of the food that we consume every day does not come from American families, and that's your choice, or maybe you never even have looked into it. But sometime when you're in your local grocery store, look through the freezer section, the Whole Foods section, wherever it is that you like to shop, and just look and see if the meat that you're consuming came from an American farm. Many farmers, especially where I live in rural Nebraska, also raise livestock. Yes, they grow beans and corn and that kind of thing, but they raise cattle and pigs and chickens because they want to feed America. These farmers have big enough farms to plant crops, harvest them, free graze their livestock and feed them, and feedlot areas to separate out and fatten up the livestock for market. The average size of a Nebraska farm in 2012 was approximately 900 acres each. 900 acres. This information came from the American Farm Bureau Federation in 2015. Animals on these farms are then processed and consumed by Americans. 25.8 billion pounds of beef, 23.2 billion pounds of pork, and 38.4 pounds of chicken annually is consumed in America. This information came from North American Meat Institute in 2015. That is a lot of food, whether the corn or the animals that eat the corn. That is a lot that the farmers contribute to help feed us every day. Farmers contribute to America's economy in more ways than one. America's farmers boost our economy with revenue and jobs. Ever since the government mandated that corn-based ethanol be added into our gasoline for our vehicles, billions of dollars have been circulated because of it. In 2011, for the first time, the amount of corn used for ethanol production passed up the amount that was used to feed livestock. This also came from Nathan F. in 2016. In 2013, the U.S. ethanol industry helped support nearly 390,000 jobs. This came from Urbanchuk in 2016. Ethanol refinement generated more than $8 billion in tax revenue for federal, state, and local governments. $8 billion. Imagine what you could do with $8 billion. This is the revenue that came in because of the ethanol industry, which ethanol is a corn byproduct. Farming is a stable and much needed source of jobs in America. As I stated, there was 390,000 jobs that came from just the ethanol industry alone. That does not include the jobs where people are actually out on the tractors in farms and have to haul and drive these products, whether livestock or corn, to the facilities where they are made to be processed. More than 12 million American farm workers, 15% of the total U.S. workforce, are in charge of producing the nation's food and fiber supply. That information came from the American Farm Bureau Federation, 2015. Farmers in rural America are usually handed down many generations in a family and will keep getting passed on to future children. So any of these farm families that you see around, the guy and his wife that have 4 kids and they're running through the supermarket and you know that he lives on a farm, it may have come from his parents. It may have come from his parents' parents. And someday I assume he will set up that business to pass down to his own son or daughter, depending on the situation. Because farms are passed down from generation to generation, the morals and work ethic of previous generations are taught and carried out by the next, keeping hard-working people in our society. The American farmer helps to boost social morale. Farmers raise children who know the power of a hard day's work. Most all farm kids grow up helping with chores, whether planting crops or raising livestock. Money does not come easily unless it is earned. You learn early on the realities of life and death, reward and sacrifice. Farmers' kids usually raise and train cattle and pigs to be sold at the market or county fair for people to eat. This is part of the farmer's job. He raises his children to understand that they put in the hard work to have a great livestock crop, and they will sell them at market. Yes, they know that they are going to food. They have bonded with these animals, but this is part of the lifestyle. American farmers hold themselves to a high standard. They work 7 days a week, all year round, to produce hardy crops and healthy animals. It's their job. It's just what they do. They respect the elderly and take care of their families. About 97% of U.S. farms are operated by families, whether individuals, family partnerships, or family corporations. 97% of the U.S. farmers are operated by families. This information came from the American Farm Bureau Federation as well. They support their communities, businesses, and donate to school activities. They care about the communities they live in. They want to see them do well, and they want their kids to do well in these communities. Because they're passed down for generations, they would like to see their towns and schools last for generations. I have explained some of the many ways that American farmers contribute to our nation's society and economy. Now let's review. American farmers are essential in our country because they keep the people fed. They contribute jobs and revenue to the economy, and they provide high work ethic standards to the generations to come. Now that you understand all the roles that farmers play, even if you have never had the privilege of meeting them, maybe you appreciate them for the contributions that they make in your life, whether directly or indirectly. Thank you very much. Some of my references that I used in my speech today, those would include the American Farm Bureau Federation in 2015. Their article was titled "The Fast Facts About Agriculture." Nathan F. that I mentioned was in 2016. The article that he wrote was "The Importance of Corn and the American Economy." This was off of the NewsGrid website. I also used the Art of Public Speaking, 12th edition. This is the textbook for the class that I am taking. I used the North American Meat Institute, the United States Meat Industry. This was in 2015. Let's see. Oh, and then I used John Urbanchuk. He wrote the article "Ethanol's Economic Impact." This was on the National Corn Growers Association website. It was in 2016. I found all these resources to be very credible and very easy to understand. If you would like to verify anything in my speech, please feel free to look those up. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you learn to appreciate the farmers and everything that they do to contribute to your life. If you ever get the chance to meet one, sit down, have a chat. I bet you'll learn something. Thank you.